Hi, welcome to Date Night.
I'm Will.
And I'm Amy. And we've been married for 13 years. 13 long years.
Yeah, and after all those long years, we felt like we needed some adventure in our marriage.
So every couple of weeks, we send our kids out of the house to the sitter's house.
And we go upstairs to the playroom.
Yep, and we clear off the table.
And we explore a whole new world together.
Just the two of us.
And me, your best buddy and longest role-playing companion.
Yep, and Mike.
And me, your favoriteest nephew.
And our nephew.
Your favoriteest nephew.
Our favoriteest nephew, Sam.
And, of course, a mysterious force from beyond the veil, also known as your half-niece-in-law, Eva.
Yeah, and our whatever Eva is to us.
And we play
Dungeons and Dragons.
So, we're walking up to the second temple. We had a long rest, and giant hoppy rock decided to come nearby. And Sam made it turn into gravel.
There's no Sam in the party.
Grease Wizard Penelope Tim.
Omega 13?
12.
Omega 12. Sorry.
Too many names.
The little guy.
Alright, and then we wake up.
Alright, what are you guys doing?
Walking towards the temple.
We should go in the temple.
Perception
Alright!
roll. 16.
We've made it through upwards of 2 pages of my notes so far.
No, wait, just
2
kidding.
hours. Yes.
14. Unless it's hearing, then it... No. 13. Unless it's
There
hearing,
are-
then it's 14.
There are big arches.
Okay, arches.
Over
Yes,
there,
I
yeah.
think we established that
When you
last
get
time.
there, there's script on the arches.
What language?
Roll. Anybody who wants to try and interpret the language, roll a history check.
1.
16.
These are arches.
16.
What writing?
In the one it says
McDonald's!
McDonald's. Yes.
It says what?
McDonald's.
Believe it or not, faithful viewer, we don't even drink.
I can
They
pull
want
up
us to. Who had more than a 15?
I did.
I had a 1.
16.
This is some sort of ancient language that you cannot read, but it shares a character or two, maybe, with an ancient form of Elvish, but it's still pretty much indecipherable.
This is almost Elvish.
But you know with that history check, this is
But not
super old.
It's really, really old.
In the shadow of the far arch, you see a spring, like of water coming out of the ground, and a pool
Cast jump.
that it's catching, and the start of Kama Creek, which is trickling down the mountainside.
Come on.
Is it like black?
clean?
Yeah, like...
Unfortunately, it's sort of a mess of sick, black, tarry water that looks like it begins at the pool. And the water coming out of the spring looks quite clean, yet the pool is full of this sick, black, and tarry water.
I go up to the spring, refill my water can, and I drank a sip of the clean water.
Okay.
Keira is dead.
No, I drank from the clean water. Okay, and then I look in the water.
Like, yeah.
And then you look in the water?
Roll an investigation check.
All of us?
22.
Okay. It's really, really thick and hard to see through, but you can tell that the sort of northmost end of the pool is less viscous and thick than the southmost end as it starts to go toward the river, and it looks like it gets thicker right like halfway in the middle of the pool.
I think there's
You can
something
see
in
where
the water.
it's mixing.
Right, that's my theory, too. Is there like a stick or something we can use to poke around in there to see if we can...
I'll go dive in and check.
No.
No.
Well,
No.
I have my quarterstaff, but I would like to keep it if possible.
Yes.
Wait, so is the water the stream is originating at the pool?
Before the pool.
Or
The
stream is going into the pool?
looks like the spring is coming from under the ground, like through some rocks and springing up and flowing straight into the pool.
Okay.
And that's where it's turning black. But you don't see much of the spring where it's clear. There's very little of it visible here.
My question is the pool upstream of anything?
Yes.
Kama Creek, which runs... I can pull out a map. It runs down eventually to the Kokitku River, but downstream of Raven Tree. And the Winston had said that Kama Creek was fouled and that basically everywhere he had seen it.
Oh, okay. I was going to suggest that we dam it until we figure out what's going on, but I don't think
Language, Eva.
But I don't... If it's already fouled, then there's not really a point to that.
Is there like a stick nearby?
Sure.
Okay, can I use the stick to poke around, see if there's like a rock or anything?
Okay, so this pool, I'm saying is a
poking
pool,
check.
but it's a pretty big pool of water, too.
Oh.
So it might be, like, we're in a pretty big room right now. It might be as big as this.
Okay.
So, I mean, you can poke around, but...
Throw Tim in.
Why don't we cast like a detect magic or something like that?
Why don't we
Maybe
cast
not
the
quite
detect
as big
magic?
as this
All
room,
right.
but 20 by 10 at least, this pool, before it goes into the creek.
Why doesn't Tim cast detect magic?
Detect magic?
I suppose I can cast.
Sure.
detect
There's
magic.
a very, very strong magic emanating from the almost exact center of this pool.
All right, let me just go ahead and dive on in. I could be a water-breathing creature.
That could be a very bad
I-
Yeah, that could,
decision.
you
Yeah,
might want
but-
to just hold your breath.
What if
I
he
adapt
gets,
my
like-
body to an aquatic environment.
But
Right,
what if
but this is
you
a
get...
fouled aquatic environment. If you were an aquatic creature, you would be breathing in the most nastiest of yucky of the pit.
Right, but
And what if you get infected by it?
but see,
You're like those little seals on the Dove commercials that are being slowly cleaned off by the nice volunteers.
all right, but listen to this. The spell
Go on.
doesn't say that I adapt my body
What did I say?
to a pleasant aquatic environment. It just says I adapt my body to the aquatic environment. So if I adapt my body to this aquatic environment and put a little filtration system inside my neck,
Okay,
then I
don't
can just
think...
make it go away. Right?
So you're like the Darth Vader seal? Is that what you're saying?
I mean, I don't know who Darth Vader is, but whatever. Your Dark Father? Is that who you're talking about?
I'm not in character at the moment here, Sam.
Oh.
I don't recommend jumping in the
I'm
water.
going to say this about the semantics of the terms of aquatic form. If this was lava, and you took the aquatic form and you went into the lava, you would not transform into a salamander,
But lava's not
dragon
aquatic.
creature.
It is technically the liquid form of
But
rock.
this
Yeah, but that's
isn't...
not
Okay, but
aquatic.
this isn't water. This is poison.
Aquatic is water.
Aqua
This
is water.
contains
This
water.
is poison.
Fine.
So I just before you do, I want you to know I'm not
Before
going to play
you do us all a
I'm not
favor
going to have
and
that
kill
semantics
Penelope
on it.
off.
But that doesn't mean you can't go in. That just means you're not going to be perfectly adapted to whatever this is, if it is anything troubling.
Don't jump in.
Or at least not as a aquatic creature. Like, you would be safer jumping in as
And holding your breath.
yourself and holding your breath, right? I mean, I assume.
Alright, fine. I jump
Do we...
in.
Okay. I was going to tie a rope to him maybe, but okay.
Roll a Constitution saving throw.
Told you.
Are you at
Hey.
advantage on magic saving throws?
Not for Constitution.
Okay.
Is this in any way related to corn? Water grows
It's a corn-based poison.
I'm not afraid
Rain
it's not.
based corn.
corn makes
No.
whiskey. Alright, yeah, that's fine. 5, 6, 7, 8.
Okay.
Oh, that's a lot of dice.
You're hit for 11 necrotic damage. Your maximum hit points are reduced by 11 damage as well.
So, can I tell my ring of blissful ignorance
Yes.
about this necrotic damage?
Get out of the
We're
water.
probably going to have to get out of the water.
But this is a reaction, so he can do this.
Alright. Hey, ring!
Underwater, he's doing this?
I just see like that as like a normal person's reaction. Like, I touch a hot plate. Ring!
He's touched a lot of hot plates.
Right.
That's where he
Alright.
makes his cheese
Check of
sandwiches.
10. A persuasion.
And what can you get? Resistant to that damage?
Yeah, half damage.
Okay.
That's a 15 plus persuasion.
That beats a 10.
Yeah. So I tell it about it.
You take 5 necrotic damage then, and your hit points are temporarily reduced by 5. Your max
Okay.
points. Go ahead and roll while you were in there. Go ahead and roll an investigation check for when you first entered the water.
10.
Okay. It's just tarry water that you were able to find before this occurred. If you want to spend any more time in there, you can make additional investigation checks. But
Yeah, I'll do one more. Since I've got that half damage for necrotic damage. Can
yeah,
I stay down there
roll
more?
another Constitution. Roll another Constitution save.
7.
That's 6 damage, and your max health is reduced by 6.
Is that half?
Get out of the water, man.
That is the half.
Okay.
But you can make your investigation roll for this turn, because that's what you were doing while this damage occurred.
Alright. 16.
You feel that there is a large stone, very spherical, in the middle of this water, but it's unclear if you'd really be able to wrestle it out.
Okay. Well, I get back on land.
Okay.
Any idea what type of stone it is?
Well,
They were... What were you guys told about the stone? Just that there was something... I guess you weren't really told anything. It was sort of...
Call.
They just knew that this sort of blight, this one type, was originating, it seemed like, from the Second Temple. But they didn't really know why.
But my question is, would it be perhaps something that is magnetic?
I mean, he touched it, but I don't think he necessarily would have been able to tell that. I think, what did you have, a 16?
yeah.
I think you could probably tell it felt, because you touched the other stone in the first temple, of much of the same material, which is more glassy, gem-like than metal.
Idea. I say we should go in and investigate the temple, and then if possible we can attempt to reroute the stream, possibly. If
Okay, there is no temple inside
Okay.
to speak of. It's 2 big arches and the line of torch holders between them. This is the whole of the temple.
Oh, then let's see if we can...
Why don't we, like,
Alright, I
make
got
a
an idea.
net?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
I was thinking of digging a trench or somehow trying to redirect the spring around this pool so that it's running out and then whatever water is drained out.
When you say pool,
Yes.
do you mean like above ground, in ground? No, I'm
Yeah, I know what you
actually
mean.
serious.
So when the pool reaches a certain depth, it overflows into the creek.
Okay.
So it is sort of below the ground, and it can contain. Sam or Grease Wizard has sort of been to the bottom. He knows it's maybe 5 or 6 feet deep where he went.
How thick are the walls approximately?
The walls?
Yeah.
No, it's just the
like a
ground.
pond.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Never mind.
I was trying to bust the walls.
Yeah, and make it flow out so it doesn't pool anymore.
Yeah.
But never mind.
I think rerouting the spring is a good idea. Maybe.
How is
Because
that?
if we have the clean water flow into the creek, that might help purify it instead of because it'll be going around whatever's making it dirty.
Yeah, and if we could drain the primary pool enough, then we can get to the rock a lot easier.
And we can make like some kind of net also. If
I have
that's-
a
I'm in the
shovel.
background just shooting spells, by the way.
Yes, it was
Just
Mike who
up.
has a shovel. not
And
Sam.
I just got one. I have chill touch. Can I freeze it?
That's not really going to help us.
Yeah, well, if it's all frozen and we chip away at the ice.
Then
Oh,
But we
I
still
think
have to
that,
reroute the spring
like,
because
does, and I'm going off another podcast here, but I think that only does a very small amount of water. But I've never read it, so let me look.
I think
if all else fails,
Especially if it's a cantrip.
that might make it more difficult to get at the rock and to reroute the spring.
No, I mean, that doesn't freeze things. It's a necrotic ranged attack does necrotic damage.
Then JK.
Okay, I think we should go ahead with our plan.
Can you... Oh, well, no, never mind. That's probably a really bad idea.
Can I what?
I don't know that I want to tell you now because I'm pretty sure it's a very bad idea.
He can't pick
And
things
you have
up
that
with...
smile on your face, which means...
He cannot pick things up with chill touch. If that's what you were going to say.
No, I was...
Let me try Mage Hand.
I was going to say, since it's a rock, if you could shatter it under the water, but that might be just...
That could be worse.
Right, that's why I said
Purify
it's probably a really bad idea.
Can I try Mage Hand?
Yeah, so I don't even know if they know what your goal is here, so you might want to catch
We are
them up on
attempting to
that.
purify the stone here at the temple, and apparently this is the stone.
What? How have you guys purified? How did you guys purify the other stone?
Sator died, and we put it in his blood.
Oh.
That's not
I
promising.
pull out my knife, I cut my hand open, and I just hold it over the thing.
Okay. Some blood drips into the pool.
And nothing else happens.
I
And you
look
have now
around.
taken 2 damage.
Oh, we're done.
Okay, you're nasty. Okay, let's start digging.
Yeah, I've got a shovel.
Do I have a shovel in my
I have
explorer?
disadvantage to shovel.
Skills here to see what
No, you dented your fingers into 2
this
damage.
might be.
I have athletics.
And I find it really strange that I remember that precise detail.
Because there's no, like, engineering spell. I guess just athletics to see how well you guys can dig. We did digging checks in episode 2, right, Sam? You're at disadvantage on all
On
future
digging,
digging
yeah.
checks.
Can't help on that,
Only
guys.
if you use your fingers.
So that's
okay, first, does anybody
athletics.
have anything to dig with?
I have
guess
a
should
hand
ask.
axe.
Shovel.
Do you
don't dig
have a
with an
shovel?
axe.
You can break the ground like a hoe.
So are we trying to get this thing?
What? No,
wait.
we're rerouting the creek around. We're rerouting the spring around.
And our
it.
goal is to get this rock, right?
Yes.
Yes.
So we're trying to stop the pond from overflowing so that we can return clear water downstream. So we're going around the pond to join the main stream.
And
All right,
then we're going
but
to
is
get
this
the rock.
thing heavy enough that it won't go downstream with the big current?
It's in the bottom. And
Right?
it fills up and
What
the
are
water
you saying?
overflows. So when the water
If the
stops
rock
coming
was
in,
so heavy that you couldn't lift it, it's very doubtful that the
All
water
right.
being diverted
I'm
is
gonna say
And the water is
That-
going around the pool. It's not affecting the flow of water in the pool.
that to do this, it's going to require a fairly extensive bit of engineering, I guess, to get that amount of water to be redirected. Considering you have one shovel,
I mean,
you will. I'm gonna.
do we
it's gonna
get
be
shovels or
pretty
anything like
difficult.
that in our explorers pack?
no.
No, I bought it specifically.
Okay.
You're going to be spending a while here if this is what you want to do.
I mean, we could
How-
we could dam up. We could make just a little thing for the spring, and then dam up the
try
the
and
way
get
that
it
goes
around.
into the pond.
So
Just
you're just
so
going to
that
make a culvert.
Yes.
yes.
I don't know what these words mean.
Digging a ditch
Yeah.
from near the stream up to the spring. From the stream to the spring, up, backwards, so that when we get to the spring and we break the ground there, then it'll just flow and it'll
It
have its
doesn't
little
go
channel.
into the pool at all.
Yes.
Yes.
And then we can dam off the part of the spring that goes into the pool.
Okay, how are you going to get it from exactly where the spring is, sort of in the middle of the side of this pond, over away so it does not start in the pond or in the pool?
Rocks, sticks, and mud, and make like a little
Okay, so-
ramp thing.
Roll a beaver check.
I feel like we're all saying different things with the same general idea.
Yeah. What am I adding for beaver check?
Nature.
12.
And I
I'm
will
gonna-
help her.
Okay,
When I did the athletics roll, I did a 17.
Okay.
okay. What did you do?
Is this for athletics?
Yeah, sure.
Sorry, I got mixed up. 16.
Okay, I'm going to call this a partial sort of a success, I guess. You get a lot of the water to divert away from the pool initially, and throughout the course of... Where are you starting with your project? Are you starting at the stream?
Usually you start at the place where it's going.
Yes.
If you start where it's starting, then it's just going to keep water overflowing.
Yeah, that's what was my concern. Okay, so in the first day you dig probably half of the distance around the side of the pool, a sort of culvert. That's the best I could tell you, I guess.
Sure. You guys
Flying
want
off the
to
seat of our pants here.
sleep, wake up, and try it again?
Yep.
Sleep,
Yeah.
wake up. Does that mean my hit points?
Nope,
You
your
know what?
temporary hit points are reduced. So that's as high as you can heal right now.
Isn't
Okay.
there a... Hang on. I'm trying... I read so much monk stuff, I can't remember what's paladin and what's monk anymore. Number hit points, no effect on... Okay, never mind. That must have been a monk thing.
Okay, you do pass the night just fine. You want to go back at it again the next day?
Sure.
I'm just going to use all your same stuff and say you're able to get over to where the spring is, sort of, and divert much of the water from the spring into your culvert, but there's definitely still water from the spring seeping down into the pool and running out and over. But if anything, or if nothing else, it's going to be diluted by some more fresh water than it would have been before. Is sort of the downstream. It will be diluted by at least half of the water being fresh and half of it kind of being... And that's about kind of the engineering you think you can do without really getting in the water and working.
I have been using my rope that came with my explorer's pack to be making a net during this time to try that.
Sure, I guess. You're going to try and fish something out of there?
I'm going to see if use her idea to try and make a dragnet.
We could just use my big.
Oh, yeah, his blanket.
Well, I've got a winter blanket, and that's a little bit smaller.
No, but you want to use the big one you got from the troll hole.
Right, but that's a lot of water, right?
Right, but
Yeah, but
if
we
you
just
use
have a lot
small
of
one,
area
you
to
can't-
cover.
Yeah.
All right, that's fine.
I would say make a net like 2x3, tie some stones to it so it weighs it down, throw it to the middle, let it
Oh
sink
no, this
down, and then
blanket's
dry.
a lot bigger. If
Yes,
we're
but
using the
how
blanket.
are we going to pull it out if it's not
Weighted.
weighted and porous? Because otherwise it's scooping water out.
That's true.
You're going to cut up my blanket.
I'm still unsure
No!
how you're... If you're throwing something like on top of this thing sitting at the bottom, how you're scooping it, I guess.
I'm throwing...
We all have ropes, so I would assume that we would be able to tie them together in some way. And if she used her rope to make the net, my rope is tied onto it so that we can pull it back to us.
And I would have the rocks on one side so that it would fall one way
And then the top
scoop.
comes up.
Okay.
Huh, I like that.
I don't know how you wanted us to do this, but this is clearly not it.
I don't know. It's interesting. Let's, what the heck kind of check would this be?
Can it be a tinker check? Because I'm the tinkerer, so...
You're making a net. So let's see how you guys do making the net. If you want to use Sam's tinker proficiency.
Well, I would assume it'd be survival, no?
You could make a net with survival.
Okay, so that's 15, 16, 17.
Is that the one you want to take? That's probably looks higher than Sam's.
Yeah.
Okay, you make a pretty good net that fits your description. Now I guess we're going to...
Who has the highest athletics?
Yeah, we're going to try and do... 2 people are going to be on this net?
That's ruled by strength, right?
Yep.
So
That'd be you and me, right?
I've got a 19 strength and I'm proficient in athletics.
I have an 18 strength and I'm proficient in athletics.
So the 2 of you.
Can I, with Mage Hand, help out a little bit? Like, kind
Since he knows
of try
what
and push it?
location is.
Just try and, like...
Guide.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The net itself?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sounds good. Let's see 2 athletics checks and Sam a dexterity check.
Not 20.
18.
All right,
16 plus 4, 22.
I was having concerns about you getting the net in the right place, but with the mage hand of nat 20 on the dex check and the really good athletics rolls, you pull the stone out of the water in your net, which was made out of what exactly?
I have hempen rope.
Rope and
My winter blanket.
A blanket, okay.
Did
Or
we?
So that
just
stuff
a
is
woven
soaked.
net, I was thinking.
Oh, okay. Well then.
Yeah, I thought
No,
it was
I
just
thought it was
the
a
rope.
blanket, but
Yeah.
that stuff's pretty soaked in this
I'm just gonna drop
stuff
that
right
winter
now.
blanket.
So,
Okay.
but
Light
the
it on
stone
fire.
is inside
Yeah, I'll light it
just
on fire.
burn that
inside
stuff
this
off the
blanket
stove.
that was sort of the middle of the net, and it's out of this pool at this
Okay.
point. And you see no immediate effect on the water just yet, but it's definitely out.
Now the purest of heart has to purify this stone, and I think I better try that blood thing again. And I slice open my hand and I touch it to the stone.
Wait, you're gonna touch it?
Well, touch the blood to the stones, just
Let it
like
drip on the stone?
it. Yeah.
We can go kill Sator's sister.
I don't think they'd like that.
No change in the stone. So this stone looks much like the other one that you saw with the inky sort of blackness around it. But the stone itself, I guess it's hard to distinguish between any of that inky blackness if the stone itself is any different than, what you saw in terms of the stone when it was cleansed. But the sort of corruption on it looks very familiar.
I have one magic rock in my inventory, and I have absolutely no idea what it does or when
It's
I
from
got it.
common, and it's now just
Yeah,
a rock.
when Calvin
Okay.
goes away, it stops being magical.
Okay.
You have a rock in your inventory.
Yeah, he can only have 3 active at a time.
But when
too.
he comes back around,
No,
You
he has
have to recast.
Yeah, and give you a new rock. He turns pebbles into magic stones. He can do it 3 at a time.
then why did he give me one?
When he gave
asked
it to
for
you,
it.
it was magical. When he disappeared, it stopped being magical. And
I think it lasts for a certain amount of time that you could have used it after he disappeared. I'd have to look at the duration. I think it
Stupid
lasts
robot.
an hour. So it would have worked for the first hour.
we've been away from Calvin for like 3 days now, though. So
Stupid robot.
Okay, additional investigation on the surrounding areas, since I forgot to mention that when I finally had a chance to say it.
There's a stairway that leads up into the mountains, uneven and stony.
I think that might go to
And
the Temple of the
cracked.
Third Land. Am I correct?
It's on the map. There's a path that leads from this temple to the Temple of the Third Land.
Do I see anything else?
Just the things I've already sort of described with the arches and the stuff.
should we take the stone to? Should we take the stone to Raventree to see if they can purify it? I mean, I don't want to kill another mystic, but
Let's.
How do you propose we move it?
I picked up the last one and put it in my bag.
Why don't we
mean, if we
unbreak
got
our
it.
little dam so that the water can go back into the spring and hopefully rinse it out?
Hey,
Okay.
And why don't we leave it here for now? Maybe
Why don't
set
we
to
just
the side
Wait,
in
but-
the
with
shadows.
us?
Wait, but don't the bad guys want to get their hands on it?
But we could set it aside in the shadows, and then we can go to the Temple of the Third Land, because then we'd still have to come back through the Temple of the Second Land.
Alright, but why can't we just take it with us? I just don't understand.
Yeah, I'm
why we don't
committed
just
to
take it with
babysitting
us.
this rock now.
I'm just worried about it
if
contaminating.
somebody comes around that's from the cult or whatever, all they have to do is put the rock back in the stream, and we're back at square one here.
True, but we have a blanket net then.
But we built a solution. I think we
let's
should just carry it with us.
Let's just take it.
If you guys are okay with that.
I'll put it in my bag.
What's the approach to taking it, I guess?
How did we do it last time? I put it in my bag.
Put the bag over it and then scoop.
Yeah.
All right, Durn, when you pick it up, how does this work? You're immune to disease, correct?
And poison.
Okay, you put it in your bag.
Okay then.
All right.
Wait, hold on. You're immune to poison. You made me jump in there.
I didn't know if this was poison or if it was something else that was going to hurt.
And he did not make you jump in at all. You jumped in yourself.
In fact, I remember actively campaigning and telling you not to.
You forgot to take your shoes off.
And you can see, I guess I should say, to the south and the east from here, you can see that the land is blighted, stretching away out of sight, which we can see on the map between Raventree and this mountain. It's all blighted farmland. You can see that from here.
So we really don't know how to purify the stone.
No.
We should have saved. You guys should have saved like a bone or something.
Stone from what?
From the mystic.
Pardon me.
It was his
I'm going to
blood.
just get some blood here. Just in case I need it later. Also, we've been walking for like...
I don't think
the
being
better part of a
sensitive
week.
is
I'm
the
pretty
greatest
sure
of
it
our
would have been
concerns right
coagulated by
now.
Alright, so let's start walking up these stone steps.
Alright.
At 8.
Hi, thanks for listening to Date Night. I'm Amy, and I play Keira.
And I'm Will, your friendly neighborhood game mom, reminding you to always add your nature modifier to all your beaver checks. Real quick, I wanted to remind you about the books I have at dmsguild.com. You can pick up Crinkle Firetouch's Guide to Magic Items or Crinkle Firetouch's Guide to Magic Maps. You can find both by just searching for Will Mayer, that's Will, M-A-Y-E-R, at dmsguild.com, or by clicking on the link on our store tab at www.d8nightpodcast.com.
Our next regular episode will come out July 20th. Stay tuned for our next bonus episode, too. We've upgraded some of our audio equipment, but we still have quite a few episodes recorded on our previous equipment. You won't get to hear it yet, but you will soon. As always, thank you for your support, and please keep sharing us with all your friends. Check us out on Facebook or Twitter at D8 Night Podcast, or our Facebook group called D8 Night Group, and as always, at d8nightpodcast.com.
Amy coming
this
for us to the Foley work again.
The stairway is definitely not perfectly even, but it's considerably better than the alternative of steep cliffs that are around it. And recall how huge this mountain was when you've been approaching it for so long. It's going to be a long haul up those stairs. You can look up. You recall there being a snow-capped peak looming way above. But right now the stairs are vanishing into the clouds in the distance. You cannot really see up to the top.
Oh.
Well, it sure is nice to be back on a mountain again.
So, just gonna continue up the steps.
Yep, and
I have a +4 to athletics. I'm good.
Yep, I need everybody to roll an athletics check for day 1.
17.
Nat
16.
1.
13.
I just collapse.
You have a nat 1.
Yeah.
That
You
seems
have
about
reached,
right.
on the first day, level 3 of exhaustion.
He has a nat 1, and he also has a -1 to athletics.
In the
Down to
first
0.
day, you have reached the 3rd level of exhaustion. And what were the other rolls?
16, 17, and I don't remember.
13.
Okay. Eva, you have reached the 1st level of exhaustion. Keira and Durn, you feeling pretty good on this nice mountain hike.
Oh, it's nice to
Guys,
be back.
what's wrong with you?
I'm passed out.
I even got me wee stubby legs.
So, do you guys know how exhaustion works?
No.
Let me
I know
tell you
the
about
3rd
it.
level of
and
exhaustion.
Tell you how you're feeling
Hi,
right now, Sam.
we're the D&D newbies.
This is like episode 17 or
Exhaustion.
something.
At
Doesn't
level
mean we know what
1,
we're doing.
at level 1 of exhaustion, you're at disadvantage on ability checks, which means athletics as well.
Great.
Well, or is that just strength checks?
All ability?
Yeah, ability checks. At level 2, you walk at half speed. At level 3, you have both of those effects, and you have disadvantage on attack rolls and saving throws.
So I'm just going to write disadvantage in real big letters.
At level 4, your hit point max is halved.
Which is already.
At 5, your speed is reduced to 0. And at 6, you die.
You're halfway there.
If you finish a long rest, provided you have food and drink, your exhaustion level will be reduced by 1.
I need a long rest, please.
Yeah, let's do a long rest.
Okay.
Do we have food and water?
Yes.
I have sausages.
10
Do
days.
we
ago.
have vegetarian food and
Those
water?
awful things.
You probably have 7 days worth of rations because you set out a few days ago.
But at the end of this, if we can find a tree, I can put us back in Ravenwood immediately.
Oh,
I liked their
I
look
got
of.
a spell. I'm sorry. I didn't do that part when I was catching you up.
No, but you did kill a halfling, so thanks for
I didn't
that.
kill him. I just hit him with a spear. He's fine.
He went off to the east.
I forgot to tell you two something. After the whole thing down in Raven Tree finished, they gave me this here stick, and they taught me how to do a ritual. And if we have any tree, I can go through the tree and be at the Raven Tree, and I can bring my party with me. So I don't know why I was a pirate there for a second. But if we get to the top of this here mountain and we finish, I'm really having a hard time distinguishing between Scottish and pirate here now.
We're tired.
Anyways, if we find a tree, we can get back to safety real quick.
So far as it goes right now, you're still seeing trees around.
Aye.
Or can you get back here though?
No, but if we
So it's
finish,
just one way.
right.
Can you like stick your hand through the tree and just have your hand appear there with like a note? If we had like a note, like,
You're asking a
give us
lot
some-
of awfully specific questions here, lad.
All right,
Yeah,
well,
what I love about this guy is that no matter what he gets handed, he tries to figure out the loopholes.
To be honest, I haven't tried it yet. So if you might want to pray, maybe the god of this world.
You did try it, and how it worked was because you had to learn how to use it.
I mean, like I did it once, but I didn't sit there like I
Right.
wonder if my hand is going to go. Like,
It definitely didn't sort of do that. It was like an instantaneous, I was here and then I was there.
what he said.
Yeah. So based on your experience at having done this tree stride,
So it's not like a
not
door.
No, lad,
it's not a door.
it's not.
Mm-hmm.
It's sort of an effect that envelops you and the party around you. So
like
when
a
it
Hearthstone,
opens up
really.
the tree.
I
Yeah.
don't think they know what that is.
It's a hearth tree,
All right. Well, I need to sleep,
a
so
hearth stick, whatever.
Okay, if you sleep, everybody recovers 1 level of exhaustion.
okay.
Okay, good night, everyone.
And I already rolled for the night, and morning breaks.
What about those temp hit points? Are they still?
They're still down.
Can I go up to my temp hit? Oh
Yes.
wait, no, never mind. I am.
But I think that was the only damage you took. Okay, proceeding up the mountain.
Yep.
That's athletics checks. Sam, your character's at disadvantage on that right now.
Great.
7 is 6.
8.
7.
19.
What did you have?
8.
Keira and Durn, you have reached level 2 of exhaustion.
That's
What
ability
did-
checks and what?
19.
Speed halved. So you guys have to walk at kind of Sam's speed if you don't want to leave him
I
behind.
got a 6.
Slowing you down.
Also.
You're back to level 3 of exhaustion. And Ahrin's feeling fine today.
But if we take a rest, then we'll be at level 1.
Yes.
I'll be at level 2.
But your progress is being stymied by your lack of being able to
Right.
move at full speed. So it's sort of slowing your descent up this mountain considerably. Plus, it's already difficult.
Right.
Did I regain my spell slots back at least with those long rests?
Yes, definitely.
Do we see the temple?
Can you maybe tinker a little cart that we can pull you in?
Roll a survival check to see about how you think your progress is going on the map.
8.
Anybody
an
else want to
18.
look at the map?
Forgotten. What would that be? What skill?
Survival.
Survival.
Well, that's a 20.
You look and you see if your speed is the way it is right now, you've probably got a week ahead of you.
Oh,
week
that's a
of
lot
stairs?
of rolls.
Mike, Hearthstick.
I know, I think we should just take the tree. Anybody else want to call this one?
I mean, we're going to have to go to that temple eventually, right?
Yeah, maybe there's another way to go.
Can we look at the
Is there
map?
an
With the
easier way
20,
to
is
get
there an
there?
easier way to get there? So
This,
it's just
this
these.
looks like it's this or kind of, sheer wall climbing.
Is there an
Close.
elevator?
No upsies.
Let's just,
I mean, we've come this far. We should keep going.
Are we even gonna make it?
Eventually. I don't think we'll all get to level 6. Like, we'll make it. It'll just be a lot of really obnoxious rolls.
I'll also say this. Looking in here, level 6 doesn't say unconscious.
It says dead.
It does say dead.
We won't all get to level 5. We'll be fine.
And if one of us does get to level 5, let's just call it there.
Yeah. Unless it's Keira, because she doesn't care if she lives or dies.
I've got a backup. I'm good.
At 8, I can keep going.
Let's roll some athletics checks, my friends.
8.
Oh, thank God. Oh, wait, I'm at disadvantage. 15.
Oh, wait.
8.
Is this an ability check?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm supposed to roll again.
Oh,
9.
I guess me too. Yeah, no, I'm at disadvantage. I was like, I did better
If
than
you are below 10, you will take an additional level of exhaustion.
So I'm on level 4.
I rolled a 22.
Wait, did we?
We went up to 1 and then back down to 2.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. So, but he went. If we had a long rest, he would have gone back down to 2 and then back up to 3.
Yes.
Oh, okay, cool.
Okay, that's the one I was worried about more.
Yes, you're at 3.
If-
But on this day, there's a little bit of change in the landscape. You're sort of going through the shadow of a huge outcropping of rock that looks like no matter where the sun is in the sky, based on where the mountain is and the shape of this odd outcropping, that the stairs are covered in ice. It looks like it's permafrost because it receives so little sunlight, and you've moved up. And that's about where you get.
He's not going to be able to affect permafrost with his little.
Carry
It's a
me,
big one.
and I'll just do Firebolt over and over and over and over and over as a cantrip. If somebody carries me, I can do that.
Yeah, you can do Firebolt 1 stair at a time.
I will say that will considerably slow your progress.
And one firebolt's not going to melt permafrost.
It's fire.
No, I know, but
I mean, I could try and cast Levitate, right?
On all of us?
I don't know, just me. Toss a rope back.
Just me.
You could try and walk up and see what it's
Yeah,
sort of like.
I'll test out the stairs.
Roll a dexterity check.
Oh, I thought it was going to be athletics again. 19.
Aren't you at disadvantage, though?
No.
No, she's not exhausted.
I feel great. I feel fresh as a daisy.
We were okay on day 1. That's
You walk on-
19 plus 1, 20.
You walk up quite a few of them, and it's slippery, but you don't slip or anything. Like, you get a good grip with your boots.
I mean,
Can you carry me?
I can, why don't I use my axe to kind of hang on to the stone, and then one at a time, like, have someone hold on to my rope.
Why don't you just take my long blanket and drape it over?
Because your long blanket, didn't we
What does
just
that
use
have to
this?
do with
little
anything?
blanket.
Yeah.
Oh.
What does that have to do with
I rolled a
anything?
13.
Get a better grip.
You're up, going up the stairs. Doesn't seem to be
So
too
a
difficult.
blanket on top
18.
of ice.
Going up the stairs. Okay.
I'm gonna tie a rope to this little guy before he goes up, just by the way.
That's 8. Oh, wait, Dex?
Yeah.
Oh, that was I'm sorry.
Don't forget disadvantage.
12. 12.
That's higher, I think. So you basically go up the stairs, maybe slightly slower than you were moving before, but without any extreme difficulty from the ice. Basically, your boots are getting good purchase. The shadow that's all around you on the ground that's really cold and you feel, all of a sudden is just gone. So everything that was just in shadow and seemingly like it was always in shadow, and despite the fact that the sun is still behind the outcropping, there's no shadow being cast on the ground anymore, and the stairs start weeping.
Like
Make a-
loud or just melting?
I know I've had a lot of like anthropomorphized rocks and doors, but no, they're sweating. And roll perception.
Like a
checks,
person
please.
or like melting?
Like melting. Let's go with melting.
7.
18.
What was this?
10.
Perception. Keira
14.
and Ahrin, that shape of the shadow on the ground is now standing up
No.
in the air, basically, and walking toward you.
No.
It looks vaguely like a one-winged giant with a huge club of an arm on one side and a big wing on the other side.
There's no
The
chance
arm
he's
would
one
be-
of the monks, is he?
And as it moves, it does start to somewhat alter its original shape. It's total darkness. Even where it moves out of the shade of the outcropping where the sun should touch it, when it sort of lifts up its wing, it just absorbs all the light around it.
So it's Balrog kind of thing.
It's 25 feet tall, and it has a similar span between the tip of its arm and the tip of its wing, and it's completely soundless as it moves, but you noticed it with your perception checks before it could attack. And the stairs are melting around you like the ice on the stairs. And we are going to be rolling initiative.
I was going
Is
to
there
say,
a tree
does it
nearby?
have
Does anyone
to-
speak Russian?
And please
Does it have to attack?
recall what, if you need a refresher of what your exhaustion levels mean, let me know.
I
This is not an ability check, but I guess initiative.
8 is my initiative.
3.
15.
13.
Is that with your dex,
Yeah.
Eva? Can you tell me those again?
15. 15, 13, 3, and I forgot.
8.
8.
Is there a tree nearby?
It takes 10 minutes to cast the ritual.
There are trees nearby.
You hold them for 10 minutes.
Yeah,
I'm going to go over here and wait for
I covered my loopholes on the instant getaway with the 10-minute ritual required. And finally, Ahrin. Durn, you're up. This thing's not too far away from you, considering it was just sort of below you and it's formed itself, and it's getting ready to attack. So.
Seriously, it doesn't look like a monk or anything.
No, it looks, again, it's got this wicked-looking big wing and a club-looking arm, and sort of looks like it has a head, but
Howdy.
it's not
Let's
pretty.
do this then. I'm going to hit it with me hammer and thunderous. No, wait, hang on. No. Channel divinity conquering presence. He has to make a wisdom save or he's feared.
Can I
That's in Xanathar's.
see Conqueror's presence?
Yeah.
That's in the Paladin section.
Correct. Under Conqueror.
As a general rule, I don't enjoy fighting things that are 5 times my size. It always makes me nervous.
Well,
As a
half
dwarf,
of
I
you
fight
are
everything
exhausted.
that's 5 times my size.
Except for me.
Well, you know.
That one time.
Conquest Oath. Exude a terrifying presence. Wow. It can repeat the saving throw at the end of each of its turns. Okay. If you can scare this thing, that's friggin' impressive.
Bring it on, laddie.
Alright. Jeez. It's a 12. The wisdom save.
What does it say? It has to be.
Oh, I don't know.
You're the one with the book.
Whatever your spell save is on your...
12. No, sorry, 11. I looked at the casting, not the DC.
So close. He flinches. But doesn't run away. That's an action, right?
Yes.
As an action. Okay. And you can actually use that on every creature of your choice that you can see within 30 feet. So you can use it on a number of things if they're... But
When
there's
does
only
that
one
when
here.
does that recharge? Is it long rest or is it like every turn?
No, it's in the player's handbook when your channel divinity comes back.
Oh.
I think it's a long or short rest, but it might be a long rest. But it's not every turn. But you can
I'll look it
that
up.
Well,
I mean,
Keira,
I failed anyways.
it's your turn.
Bow? Bow?
Okay.
Question mark?
Like, do you have one? Or
18?
Yeah, that's gonna hit.
7?
Ooh, I actually have written here that he cannot be charmed. So, you want to redo on your turn when we come back around? Because I should have deflected that and said you can't Well, I guess you'd still cast it, and he just wouldn't be charmed.
Right.
But
It would have just been a fail.
You hit Keira with your bow.
Mm-hmm.
What was your damage?
7.
Oddly enough, you see the arrows kind of stick in it, and it looks like it makes a section of light inside of it. So it looks like it may have done something to it.
Oh, it's probably blighted.
Short or long rest. Just for the future.
Maybe?
It's either, okay.
I have no idea.
Grease Wizard.
I'm gonna do the only thing I know how to do. And I'm gonna cast Grease.
Okay.
Make it slip and fall down the mountain?
Mm-hmm. That's my goal.
Okay.
So,
And what does it have to do when it enters or when it begins its turn? Or I don't know how that works.
10-foot square centered on a point within range. Blah, blah, blah. When Grease appears, each creature standing in the area must succeed on a dexterity saving throw or fall prone.
He falls prone. This big shadow somehow slips on your grease. I don't know how that works. I guess it's magic grease.
But also, it's a mountain. Does he fall off?
No, he just falls prone onto the ground. And it's weird because where there's, like, ridges in the mountain, he's sort of, like, inside where those ridges are. Yet somehow he slipped on the grease. And it's the Stone Shadow's turn. So the Stone Shadow is going to use its move to stand up, which means it is not going to be in range of anybody yet to make any physical attacks. But it does cast something. I need everybody to make a charisma save.
Am I still on disadvantage for all my saves?
Yeah.
That's a nat 20. Nat 20!
On your disadvantages. A 2?
I got a 16.
Durn, your shadow separates from you.
I rolled an 8.
I rolled double
stands-
nat 20, so...
Pretty good. And it stands up and takes your form, but instead of being on the ground, it's standing up beside you, much like this thing is standing up off the ground. Additionally, this thing casts a sphere of shadow all around you, and it's a 20-foot sphere of bitter cold and blackness. And while you're in this area, you are blind. You cannot see out of this, even with dark vision. So if you're not already at disadvantage on attack rolls, if you're inside this 20-foot sphere, you're going to be. Okay?
Great.
Ahrin, it's your turn, and because you're starting your turn inside the sphere...
I rolled an 8. Did that pass the spell?
Yes, nothing
Okay.
nothing happened. Just Durn Shadow has detached from them. Starting your turn inside this sphere, it's so cold, you take 7 cold damage on it.
Okay.
Boss fights.
There's not much I can do.
He's maybe 15 feet in front of you at this point.
Okay, I'll throw my javelin at him, I guess.
Okay, you'll be at disadvantage while you're inside this sphere of darkness.
Okay. 19. 19.
That hits.
Can I borrow your dice?
Roll damage.
That's 1d6 plus... 8.
Okay. You stick the javelin shoots all the way through him, but you see it opens up a gap of light beside him.
Are the gaps of light that we're opening, are they closing?
No.
Okay.
Is that it?
For me?
Yeah.
I mean, is there anything else I can do?
Not any other actions, unless you have
should
bonus
rage.
actions. Or
Oh, yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, next time it's my turn, I'm gonna rage.
You could
Okay.
move so that the next time it comes around to your turn, you're not standing in the cold.
Yeah, that's true. Can I get out of the cold?
Go ahead and make a dexterity check, since you're on the slippery stuff.
And can I rage now that
You
I've
can
been
rage.
hit? 9?
Doesn't raging give you advantage?
No.
You don't quite make it. Well, I guess it's a 20-foot sphere, So you only have to really move like 10 feet to get out of it because you're in the middle of it.
Yeah.
So you just get outside the sphere. You just managed to get outside it. Durn.
Am I
You're
the thing?
inside the...
Wait, but am I raging now or at the start of my next turn? Because that affects other people.
You can be raging now.
Okay, so for now, everyone else, I think his attacks against everyone else are at disadvantage.
Yeah, till the end of your next turn.
Yeah.
That's how that works. While your ancestral guardians are out, sort of
Yes.
protecting them as well. Okay, Durn, you're inside the sphere. You take 7 cold damage. And it's your turn. You've got there's your shadow looking at you. There's the stone shadow thing, the big outcropping shadow, who's, again, 15 feet in front of you, and you're sort of 10 feet away from the edges of this sphere.
I'm going to hit my shadow with Thunderous Smite.
Okay.
Is it between him and
It's right next to me.
the stone shadow? I'm just hoping for, like, spread damage.
Yeah, it kind of is.
Nat 20.
All right, roll your damage dice twice for your
For the hammer.
for the hammer.
4. No, sorry. 8. And then another 8.
Well, no, you only get the dice damage is what's doubled. So you
Oh.
roll it twice, and you take that. So
Okay, so 8 plus 4 is 12.
12.
And
12
then
physical damage.
2d6. 6. 4.
The shadow dissipates in your thunderous smite.
Okay, good.
Keira.
I'm going to shoot at...
Can I move out of the
Oh, yeah, sorry. Go ahead. Roll a dex check.
17?
You're out of the sphere.
Thank you.
I'm going to shoot at the stone shadow thingy with ensnaring strike.
You're at disadvantage, but go ahead.
What about
Nope.
you? Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay, that's a 3. So 3 plus 6 is 9.
That's going to be a miss.
Okay.
Do you want to try and get out? Oh,
Yes.
You took 5 cold damage at the beginning. Roll
Yes.
a dex check.
1.
You are inside the sphere still. And as you do, you sort of hear, like, in this inky blackness, some terrible sounds and these, like, tentacles and things coming up around you. And you take 5 psychic damage from the fear. Oh, actually, you're able to try and make a wisdom save against that. Sorry.
5.
All those things I just said.
8.
All those things I just said. Grease Wizard, you're in the sphere, yes?
With a nat 20? Still in the sphere?
Well, that was about whether you could keep your shadow.
Oh.
It was a charisma check. Your shadow really likes you.
Okay. Who wouldn't? Yeah, I guess I'd be in the sphere.
Yeah.
So can I just try and get out first?
Yeah.
Alright.
You can do your move first.
15.
What direction are you going, by the way? So this thing is right in front of you, 15 feet away. The sphere is 10 feet any side around you. So you're moving toward the thing or to the side or away from the thing?
The way that looks the easiest to get out of the sphere.
Okay. Probably to the side.
Okay.
Downhill.
But I'm on disadvantage.
Yeah.
12, 15.
Yeah, you're out of the sphere, no problem, and you can still take your action.
And I'm going to cast Shatter.
And I did not give you your cold damage of 7.
Oh.
Go ahead, and I have to make a... What do I have to do? Constitution save? It's a 21.
Yeah.
Sorry, my dice are so good
I
today.
know.
Do you want mine?
But he takes half, right?
Oh, yeah. So, D8.
You want a couple D8s, or you just want
5, 1, 6.
12? He takes half.
Yeah.
Okay. You watch some of the shadow, pop off of him, like into a cloud of mist when you do that.
Also, I'm pretty bloody.
Yeah. Because you're at max half?
I'm at 2 hit points.
His
And you
max
can
at
only
this point
heal
is
up to 9 or something. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's bad. Okay, the stone shadow creature's going to go again. He's still in the grease. What does he have to do to get out of it? Because he couldn't move last time.
Dex save, isn't it?
Yeah, as long as you're in there, you have to do a dexterity saving throw or fall prone.
All right, well, that time it's an 18. So
Yeah.
he can move then?
Yeah.
Okay.
I
He's,
believe I read that it's difficult terrain.
right. He can only move half his normal move speed. He's going to make an attack with that club arm on the grease wizard. That's a 21.
Hit.
You sunk my battleship.
That's 7 damage.
Yep, I'm down. I'm at -5.
Then he attempts to envelop Durn with that big wing. And that's 22.
That's a hit.
Please make a dexterity saving throw after taking 9 damage.
Hachi machi.
13.
Okay,
Are we all supposed to
just the
die
9
right now?
damage.
Okay.
Is this your subtle way of telling us you don't want to play with us anymore?
This is your first really big, really big boss fight.
The rocks weren't it?
No. Well, I guess you've had some big boss fights. You had the Akagi fight was a big
Yeah,
boss
but we had a Kagi. Oh, no, you're talking actually fighting.
Yeah. Ahrin,
I got a lot of crits on him, though. He didn't
your
last.
turn, and the thing has moved out of Greece over to where Durn was as I tried to envelop him. Ahrin, it's your turn.
Is it close enough that I could hit it with my axe?
Yeah, I think you could move there without a problem and hit it. And I don't think I put the thing at disadvantage on its attacks. I will do it next round
Okay.
because it's supposed to last 1 round.
Yeah,
Sorry.
it's okay. It's okay. My ancestors are known to be a little bit lax, so
Okay.
they're like, okay, I'll get around to that. So anyway, axe?
Yep. And you get plus damage for raging if you hit.
I'm at advantage on my attack roll, right?
I think so.
Maybe? I don't know. Okay, 16,
Yes.
and then my attack is 11 points of damage.
That's with your plus 2 for raging.
13.
13
Cool.
points of damage.
You cut a big chunk of shadow off that again turns into like a cloud and floats away. Durn,
Am I next to...
you're pretty close. You guys both moved downhill out of the thing, and he attacked the 2 that were near each other.
lay on hands for 14, so that'll get him back up to his...
Hallelujah.
You'll be at 9. Okay,
Then
Thank you.
Keira.
I'm gonna try to. Well, I guess I gotta try and move out of the cold first.
Oh, yeah, you got to take the cold damage first while you're in there. That's 7.
And I'm now down to 3.
And then you can roll your dex check to get out.
blow it up, lad.
I'll try.
10.
Okay, you're out.
How's the thing looking?
It still looks pretty big and smoky. It has some gaps in it where light's coming through it. But it's hard to judge its health based on the type of thing that it is.
Okay. I might need a heal. I'm gonna try to hit it with an arrow.
Okay,
16 plus
hit.
6.
Hit.
Okay.
It's below maximum health.
Yep.
Yay!
So you get to do Colossus Slayer.
That's what I was hoping for.
5 and 6. 11.
Nice. Yeah, that puts a big gap in its stomach. It's got a big wide hole in the middle now.
What does it look like in that hole?
Light. Complete, like, sunlight.
Okay.
Grease Wizard.
I'm gonna.
Newly awake.
Yeah.
Shatter.
Yeah, I'm gonna cast Shatter right on its heart.
Well, you and Durn are close to it.
Within 10 feet? If I
It's
have it at
been
its heart?
Well, I guess if you put it high enough,
Yeah.
you can go 10 feet, make sure it's more than 10 feet above you.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
So, I cast it.
Oh, yeah, I got the good stuff, right? 17?
Constitution saving throw.
Yes, 17.
Alright, still 6, 2, 3, 11.
And that's only half or the whole?
Half. If you
5.
You saved your constitution.
Well, I had a 17. I don't
Yeah.
know if that beats your casting.
Well, does it be? Oh, yeah. Never mind.
Okay. So you see another waft of smoke come off of this thing, go up into the sky.
And I kind of want to get out of range.
Okay.
Of it.
You're going to move back?
Not into the sphere,
Yeah,
though.
but away from the thing.
Yeah.
That's fair. You can do that. You watch as the sphere sort of disappears at the beginning of the Stone Shadow's turn, and he is going to make another attack with his club arm. I guess it's got to either be Durn or Ahrin are the two up near him. So let me actually reset what that roll will be. Okay, Durn. That's an 11.
Miss.
Okay. Then he tries to envelop you as well with his wing. And that is a 22, and I need you take first 8 damage. And if you're still up, I need you to make a dex save.
I'm up, and that's 15.
Okay, so he kind of backhands you with the wing, but is not able to wrap it around you.
Okay.
And it's Ahrin's turn.
Okay, I would like to take my rock that is no longer magic and use my cornhole proficiency to chuck it into the gaping hole in its stomach.
Okay.
Wouldn't that just be throwing a rock into nothing?
I guess we'll find out.
Okay.
This is for science.
I mean, 4, 9. What are you at?
3.
3.
I wish I could transfer you guys.
We're sciencing right now?
I still have 29. I'm okay.
Oh, really? Fantastic.
I wish I could help you guys out. I don't know. I mean...
You can help us out by killing the thing. I'd be ecstatic.
Yeah, that would be great.
I just want to see what happens.
Okay.
So is that an athletics?
It's a
Cornhole.
dex plus
What's your cornhole?
your cornhole proficiency.
Okay.
Plus dex plus your proficiency. bonus.
So 19.
Okay. Roll 1d4.
1.
Okay, it sails through the middle of that hole and to the other side and takes a little bit of the smoke with it as it goes.
I'm just trying to figure out what this thing is.
Okay.
Do I have any idea, maybe?
With that, you think it's fairly incorporeal in some ways, like where the gaps are, it no longer exists.
Okay. So it's kind of like a ghost in armor.
I mean, where the shadows are, it's not just mist or shadow. Like, it's... When you bit into it with the axe, you could feel it. But where the gaps are, it doesn't really exist
I'm
anymore.
sorry. You said mist or shadow, and I heard Mr. Shadow.
That's his name. He tips his top hat to you.
Hello, my name's Mr.
Hello,
Shadow.
I'm Mr. Shadow. I'm
I'm
god
sorry.
this area.
Okay.
Durn.
Curiosity killed the party.
Total party kill based on stone check.
No.
Durn.
I'm going to go ahead and burn the other Thunderous Smite slot here. 14, 18.
Hit.
Yeah.
You're up to 18, I heard.
So here's weapon damage, 8, and then 5, 4.
Alright, so when you smash it, with the hammer at first, like you bust off one of its arms, and then when the thunder goes through it, it sends the rest of it dissipating up into the clouds.
Thank Atalanta.
Okay. Remember how a couple episodes ago there was no combat? It was not in this episode.
So we beat it?
It's dead.
It's dead?
Mm-hmm.
Hooray!
Oh, hallelujah.
We might have a chance. What was that thing?
It was Mr. Shadow.
Okay.
Wait, does Durn have his shadow back?
I killed my shadow.
Right, but do you have a shadow now?
No.
I have no shadow.
No.
What?
That would have been so cool!
I am a pure being of the
wanna
light.
have a shadow. That's cool.
That is
That's
pretty
really
cool.
cool.
I'm assuming it's cool until he tells me whatever horrible side effect there is to not having a shadow. Like, your shadow is your soul.
Well, right now you just don't have a shadow.
Okay.
Okay.
You don't have any health
Weird.
points, and I don't have a shadow.
There we go.
Yep.
Is there a comfortable looking place where we can maybe take a long rest?
Or just here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not really too concerned with comfort right now.
I'll take first watch.
Okay.
Okay. It's morning. You have gained back one of your exhaustion levels, all of your spell slots. And your,
Temporary
at
hit
least your
points?
health, but not your temporary hit
How
points.
am
no.
I the person who has the most hit points, and I'm the person who gets hit the least? I don't understand.
Luck.
Yeah, I guess.
I pretty much am rolling
I only
randomly
got-
most of the time to see who they hit, unless when it's just you and Durn up close to it fighting, I only roll between the two of you, and
Yeah.
it tends to go for
Hi!
Durn.
I only lost 7 in that last round, and like in most of our fights, I've never lost more than 10 hit points. It's really weird.
She has a big pool of them, too.
And I have 36, like I can spare them.
Alright, can we make it to the temple?
Roll athletics checks.
9.
18.
12.
14.
All right, everybody below 10 take an additional level of exhaustion back. Yes. So we play the game of give and take on exhaustion. And you do, after that day, get over the clouds and can see the peak of the temple. It looks like you would probably make it there on the next day.
So long rest.
Long
and
rest.
Let's get there.
Long
Tears
rest
are
again.
just streaming down GW's face. Oh.
Roll again. Roll again. Roll again.
Can't.
He's the game god. He can.
Can't. It's the rules.
You never want to hear the GM whisper, oh boy.
Yeah. So, as you're trying to take that long rest, your favorite little buddies, the Hop Rocks, show up in the camp and do just enough chaos before you can shake them off. All of you take just 1 acid damage, and you don't get your long rest.
So still at the same exhaustion level.
Yep.
Basically,
Yes.
it's the only other effect.
Yes. And you guys had a long rest, so you didn't need the health or spells, but you needed the exhaustion thing. What
Only
level
Keira,
of
though.
exhaustion is everybody at right now?
Come at 2.
Okay, so you've kind of
None.
improved. All right, roll an athletics check for your last leg of the journey.
Another 18.
Hopefully.
11.
11.
9.
Okay, below 10, 1 level of exhaustion, but nobody's botched it. So you do make it to this temple. You could call it a temple. It's a giant glass dome sitting at the top of the mountain.
Well, that's pretty.
And there's somebody standing outside of it who is wearing that monk gear that you saw Philium wearing.
Wait, who?
The Russian.
Philium.
The
giant.
giant
Is it
guy.
a good guy or a bad guy?
He was nice. He was very courteous.
Philium was nice. This guy we don't know.
Okay.
And he's an elf. He's a really small little fella standing outside the dome. And inside the dome, you see, even though you've moved up the mountain here, there are less sort of trees and things. There might still be some that are around that you might be able to use. But inside the dome, it's like a lush Eden-type paradise. And there are monks inside there walking around, some of them sitting silently in meditation.
And poof, you two disappear, and
Maybe.
Yeah, I guess
probably.
I guess that's what it is. So you're staring here at this huge glass dome, and
Oh, we've made it.
the guy says, "How did you even get up here?"
I'm the king of the bloody wizards, that's how!
don't mind him.
I'm really sorry about him.
We walked. It took a long time.
He's
Weird
very
shadow
tired.
monster. Lots of fun.
I think that's when those portals open. And when he asked that question, and
Are you kidding me?
and the monk is just kind of staring at the two of you who are left and saying, "They came a long way to leave like that."
They sure did. Do you have any mead?
I've got some liquor.
Hello there. I'm Durn Hammerstone. Please keep listening to our adventures and share it with your friends. Thank you very much. And don't forget, I'm gonna hit it with the hammer.